Hey everyone, so these are the three guys I'm going to be kind of showing for comparative reasons ye today. So it's just so you can see the different sizes available and how each of them look, say with products in them, just to give an idea of size and that, and obviously to see how they are compared to each other as well. So this guy I got from Flair.ie or Flair Hair and Beauty, which is a salon services kind of place here in Ireland, and it's not really branded as such. It was bought from the seller or the manufacturer in Italy and then they sold it as their own. But I did find 3 other places on the internet where you can get it. So within Ireland it's Flair.ie. In England there is a website called directsalonsupplies.co.uk, I think, which sells it. And then Crown Brush, the American website, sells it as well on their website. It's in their featured products page at the moment. And then there's also a brand called Tasmara that sells it as their Deluxe trolley case or something like that, and they have suppliers worldwide. So I will be listing all those suppliers on my blog, so you can go there to check the different places where you can get it and the different web addresses and the different prices and stuff like that. Then we have the Zuca case. I spent 150 on this, and that's with VAT. Now people were getting confused when I was talking about VAT the last day, so I just assumed that's what it's called everywhere. It's value added tax, so it's €120 in Ireland without the VAT, which is the value added tax, and 150 with. Then you have the Zuca case here. So this is the Artist Pro one, I think, and it cost me, well, it costs now anyhow $295 on the American website. There are other places you can get this. I know Mac Pro do a Zuca case for Mac, or Zuca do a Zuca case for Mac Pro as well, which you can get from Mac Pro directly. I'm not sure of the price difference there, but just so you know. And then this guy up here is the Inglot train case. And I got this in the Inglot store in Limerick, and it cost €150 was the full price at the time. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and I'll probably start off with this guy, and then I'll go on to the Zuca, and I'll finally show you the Inglot stuff. Right, so this is the trolley case or train case. And you can see there beside the Zuca, it's roughly the same height, but it is wider, so you will have, does take up more space. It comes on the outside, first of all, it's clasped at the front, has a really sturdy handle at the top. It's got more clasps at the side, and it has little mesh pockets. So for instance, I just stuck down a palette to show you. It is on wheels, if you can see there, so it's quite like the Zuca in that case. And also it has this guy that comes up pretty much to the same height as the Zuca case as well, so it's really handy for travel. And then of course there's another mesh side. Then when you actually open it up, you just have to make sure that all the sides are unclasped, and it opens like this. So these things here you can take off if you want, but they're definitely handy for keeping on, and this lid will stay nice and open, so you can use it almost as a work top. And then the front bit here comes down as well, which also has a mesh pocket in, so you can pop in, you know, whatever you want in there, probably maybe face charts or something that you don't mind getting bent. And then on the inside you have your drawers. So these drawers are detachable, like I showed in the last video. Or when I say detachable, I mean the whole set of drawers comes out, and then you're left with a big hollow in there. So that is actually very handy, you know, in case you did want to use it for something really bulky, whatever. But what I love about the drawers in here as well, drawers, is they don't just open for pulling. So if you do tend to have a knock or happen to have a knock, or it goes flying or whatever, they're not going to open. You need to push down on the little handle and then pull out, and that's what I think is the handiest thing about it, or one of the really handy things about it. In the actual lid up here, it comes with a brush roll that's stuck on with Velcro, and then you can take that off totally, and if you want you can work with the brush roll. You can actually roll it and close it up as well. So it does have a little Velcro thing here, so you can use it as a proper brush roll, and like I said, it is closed up, but it is dead handy having that there as well. So I'll just pop that back on. So just to give an idea, there's a few brushes in it for you. Then what I have in the top here, this is like a case that I got that I'm going to put all my foundations into, but it fits perfectly in this top area. It's perfect up here maybe to put in baby wipes or tissues or you know, your brush roll or whatever else you have in here. That wouldn't be enough to carry all my brushes, but it definitely will take some of maybe the more important tools or whatever you're using it for. It depends really on what your job specification is. And then with the actual drawers, I just threw in a few products just to show you roughly the kind of size. So I just have a few face creams and stuff like that in there. And because there are 8 drawers though, there's plenty of space. The only thing I'd say is maybe for bigger, bulkier things like a couch roll and stuff like that, you might need a separate bag to stick it into. Then I have some of my Inglot palettes there. Just threw some mascaras and false lashes. Then, you know, lipstick palettes and lip pencils. So there's really is like a little section for everything. There's just some face powders, box of tissues, and then I think the last 2 are empty. Well, there's just some lip glosses in here. So I might still keep some of my products in these clear bags for the smaller finicky things like lip glosses and stuff like that, so they're not kind of jumping all over the place. But having these drawers in it definitely does cut down the need for having all those little bags, which means it'd be quicker for working. So there'd be less of a need to set everything up on a table, because if they're organised within here on a job, then you can just work directly from the little drawers. So I really love this case. I think it's really handy. It's definitely very kind of ergonomic and perfect for doing any of those like makeup jobs, like working on at a wedding or whatever. So that's that guy there. Like I said, go to LetzMakeup.com. The link to my blog post will be below, so you can see where all the different stockists are for that. Okay, so now for the Zuca case. So you can see pretty much the same height. It is narrower. I got the Artist Pro case. So this one came with a cover, which is, you know, for, I don't know, to keep it clean or if it starts raining or whatever. And it also came with these inserts. So they're like little, they're kind of like little drawers as well, but they're more like just bag, like flat bags that you can just slot in. And it came with 4 of those, and then another little kind of mesh bag that you can use more for toiletries or whatever. And is that all it came with? I think that's pretty much it. So for the outside, again, before we go into the inside, there's the flap, and then that's the door. It has this steel frame, so it can be used as a seat. It can take quite a good weight, and the size of this is that it fits comfortably in overhead packaging or in overhead storage in, I think it says on the website, in aircrafts bigger than 737s, so for flying and stuff like that. And the side, it has a little area here where I keep some of my business cards, so it's like a perfect size for that. Then you have another little pouch here, and then there's another pouch on the outside of that that doesn't have a zipper. I just have makeup setting spray in there for some reason. Then on the back you have a little area where you can put your identification. So I just have one of my face or my name badges in there again. This does kind of open up, so you can like remove the cover if you want, but I just haven't needed to. There's another little pouch there and a slightly bigger one above it. And then this side is pretty much the same thing. I just have some of my makeup brushes thrown down there from my last wedding. So it's the same as the other side. There's a pouch with a zipper, pouch without, and then another one where you could put whatever you want in there. And then of course it has handles as well. Now on the actual inside, there are more pockets and pouches in here, and they're see-through, so you can actually see what there is there. So it would be really handy for maybe keeping brushes and stuff like that in here. I think I just have like a hair tie or a hair band kind of thing, and a powder puff and a few bits like that. It does open on a bigger level then, all the way down. It's stuck for some reason. There you go. And then you can put more stuff in there as well. So there are loads of pouches in it. I tend to have it so full though from the inside that there's not too much space left to put in here. And then I've emptied out some of these guys already, but just to give an example, there are some of my powders in one of those guys. And then there's a little place where you can put labels in the handles so you can see exactly what you're pulling. I had some of these clear bags that I got in Dunnes Stores here in Ireland that are similar, like they have a little pulley thing here, and I use these for my Zuka case as well. So when I have a full Zuka case, I can stack about 5 comfortably full ones of these guys up on top of each other, and then I might put a smaller bag of stuff, more clear bags that I have stuck in up top. And then there is a little mesh thing here that'll also hold bits for you. So it is just jam-packed of all these like secret little compartments and stuff like that. So it's really, really handy for holding things and you know, for getting a space for most things as well. So that's pretty much the Zuka case. One other thing I'll show you is my friend Heather, SoColum79 here on YouTube. She just sent me this thing here, which is like an add-on for your Zuka. Now I'm not 100% yet how it works, but there are different add-ons you can get just to show you. So this kind of slips down over the back of the Zuka like that. And then I assume you can just use it for rubbish or whatever you want to use it for. I'm told it's supposed to connect onto it perfectly or properly or somehow cup onto it. Haven't figured that out quite yet, but just so you know, there are different add-ons and stuff you can get, and there's loads of different Zuka cases as well. Go onto the website just to see all the different ones. You can get like a leopard print one, you can get pink one, and you can get wheels that light up as it goes along and stuff like that as well. So that's that guy. And then finally, the one I'm going to show you, or the last one I'm going to show you, is this Inglot train case. The reason I have had a couple of these before where they were hard on the outside and like had really pointy corners and stuff like that, and I'm just not a fan of them for some reason. So I really liked this when I saw it, and it's nice for smaller jobs or for using along with one of the other trolleys, because it'll sit comfortably on top of it with that you can pull along when the handle is up on those guys. So on the outside of this one, oh, I should have just said quickly as well that this first one comes with a handle like this. I just don't have it attached. So at the side of the Inglot case there is a little pocket on each side, the same on both. And then both sides, front and back, they're the exact same. They open up and then your cover comes down like so. So this has little hooks, like little elastic kind of hooks, so you could put brushes or whatever you want in there. I'm not sure exactly what I'd put in there yet. And then on the other side it's a little bit different. This one has a little mesh kind of pocket, so I just have a notebook where I keep, say, lists of products I'm using on brides or whatever, and then I have a palette there as well. And then it opens up like so. So it's like any of those other normal train cases. It's going to be a little bit harder to see maybe, but yeah, I'll probably have to bring the camera down here. So with this guy here, you have those both sides. Now in the center it is quite deep, so I have tissues left in there, just a box of tissues, and I did have baby wipes in there as well. And then I have some other products that, what are they, just false eyelashes with glue that I stuck down beside it, and they fit quite comfortably in there. And then I just have thrown in some mascaras, little metal palettes, you know, eyelash curlers. It's more the smaller fiddly things that I put in these guys. I have like all my eyebrow pencils, and then there's eye primers and stuff like that in there. So I would rarely find this ever big enough for a job. I'd usually, like I said, use it for any of the things that are a little bit too small or fiddly for putting in the bigger cases. I usually would just use this to accompany the bigger ones, but you know, if you're only working on maybe one person or a couple of people and you already know what to bring and you know exactly what you need, you could throw the stuff in here really quickly and really handily, and then use it for those smaller jobs. So it is definitely handy. There's not too much more to show you really in these. Like these inserts here, you can move around around and change, so you can make more space, because I had to make them bigger to allow these guys to go in quite comfortably. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it is kind of a pleather insert or bottom on the inside, so it would be easy enough to clean. Then these guys go in again, and you just close it up, and there you go. So that's the Inglot case there. So obviously I don't know how much this costs in different countries, but it was the 150 here, and then it has the Inglot logo on the outside. Yeah, so that's all three of those guys for you anyhow, just so you can see them together and to see the differences between them and the shape of them and the space they have and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, any other information on my blog, but that's them. So that's the train case, the Inglot case and the Zuca bag. So I hope this was helpful. Again, as usual, questions below in the comments, and thanks a million for watching, guys. So I'll chat to you all really soon.